science of buying, the neuroscience. So he's really got like neurons plugged into the brain. And when you make a purchasing decision, he's looking at, well, what's the science behind that? And the truth is, for the most part, we don't buy anything rationally. There's no ration behind it. It's somatic markers built up over time that tell us why we want to buy things. One of his great studies is on cigarette smokers. Absolutely fundamentally know that they should not be smoking cigarettes. But there's something that's been built up over time that tells them there's a reason I want to do this. And it has very little to do with the nicotine effect. It's an emotional tie to, I want to be that person. And this is built up over time, over time, over time. So when you think about the power of the emotion, the power of the experience, this is where brand building comes from. So as you're starting to build your brands in the beginning, what you want to think about is, what is the experience that I want people to have with me, and how do I reinforce that? And it's not just about the color palette, it's not just about the logo, it's not just about the name. It's the total experience that somebody has with your brand. It's about, what's that sound that I always hear whenever I'm at a Shell event? We don't have one. There are companies that do. What is that smell every time I walk into that hotel? It just smells great, right? It's the total sensory perception of what people feel and believe about you. And these are things that you're going to have to manage and you're going to have to control as you start to build up your company and build up your brand. You may not ever need to be a global brand. You may not ever need to be bigger than 20 people with, $100,000 cash at any given time. It may be, but your brand is what people are going to believe about you when you're recruiting. What do people know? What do they hear about you? What do they hear about your company? What do they feel about it? Not maybe what they read in the paper, but what do they feel about your company? When you look for investors, what do they feel about your brand? Have you built that market cred out there so that people feel good about what you're doing? So these are the things that you want to think about in terms of brand building. It's not a marketing activity. It's led from the CEO down. So one of the reasons that I'm so passionate about working for the brand at Shell is that we have a CEO that absolutely believes in the power behind brand building and reputation management. It's all about what people believe about you, true or not. You have to manage those perceptions.